Hi everyone, I'm Nur Asha Gaydalia. I'm going to report in Educ 3. I belong to the Group 8. The title of my report is Teacher as Curriculum Leadership. Curriculum leadership set of important rules and activities that each teacher does in relation to curriculum planning, curriculum implementation, curriculum evaluation. Teachers is expected to innovate and develop curriculum that are relevant and responsive to the needs and context of the learner. Key roles of teachers as leaders in curriculum process. Instructional leadership, they are expected to be instructional leaders, especially to the subject they teach. The following are some of the specific roles of teachers as instructional leaders in the local school context. Designing instructional plans, selecting, developing instructional materials, assessing and reporting student progress, designing learning environment appropriate for the students, selecting appropriate teaching strategies and approaches, preparing reports and accomplishing official forms, guiding students in their school life, teaching subjects assigned to them. This is the example of designing an instructional plan is creating a detailed roadmap for teaching a science lesson on the water cycle. The plan includes learning objectives, materials needed, introduction, main activities guided, practices, independent practices, closure, and assessment. Selecting, developing instructional materials for science lesson on the water cycle includes choosing visual aids, a water cycle model, water cycle diagram handouts, a water cycle video, and whiteboard with markers. Accessing and reporting student progress involves administering quizzes, tests, and assignments to evaluate learning outcomes and communicating results to parents through progress report. Designing a learning environment with appropriate teaching strategies and approaches involves creating a classroom layout that promotes student engagement and collaboration. An example includes arranging desks in groups to encourage teamwork, using flexible seating options for comfort, incorporating technology for comfort, incorporating technology for interactive learning, and displaying visual aids for reinforcement. Selecting appropriate teaching strategies and approaches problem-based learning. Students work on solving complex, real-world problems. This approach fosters critical thinking, collaboration, and decision-making skills. Preparing reports and accomplishing official forms involves gathering data, analyzing information, and documenting findings in a structured format. An example includes compiling monthly sales reports, summarizing key metrics, and completing expensive reimbursement forms for submission to the finance department. Guiding students in their school life involves providing support, mentorship, and advice to help them navigate academic, social, and personal challenges. An example includes counseling students on course selection, offering study tips, and facilitating peer support groups to enhance student well-being and academic success. Teaching subjects assigned to educators involve delivering lessons, facilitating discussion, and accessing student learning. An example includes instructing students in mathematics by explaining concepts, providing practice problems, and evaluating their understanding through quizzes and exams. Roles and function of teachers as curriculum leaders. A. Advocate. B. Broaden. C. Conduct. D. Develop. E. Evaluate. G. Gathered. H. Harness. I. Innovate. J. Justify. K. Know. M. Manage. N. Nurture. O. Orient. P. Provide. Q. Qualify. R. Reflect. S. Select. T. Train. U. Understanding. V. Validate. W. Win. X. Y. Yearn. And Z. Zero. To prepare would be inappropriate and too late. The proper response is to create the kind of citizen and society we need. Communicate the philosophy, vision, and mission of the school. Create a school handbook or guide that clearly outlines that school's philosophy, vision, and mission for easy reference by staff, student, and parents. Training. Training teachers and school staff to lead in the development or purchase of instructional materials. Training teacher and school staff to lead in the development or purchase of instructional materials. Facilitate workshop or seminars where teachers and staff collaborate to create and evaluate instructional materials that align with the school's curriculum, goals, and standards. Reiser and Dix models. Reiser and Dix model 1996. The teachers as curriculum leaders need to ensure that the curriculum standard and competencies as reflected in the instructional goals are implemented carefully, serve as conceptual and communication tools for analyzing, designing, creating, and evaluating guided learning, ranging from board educational environment to narrow training function. So, Racer and Dex proper assessment tools. So, the first is identify goals, identify objectives, plan activities, choose media and develop assessment tools. Implementation instruction. This is the revised instruction of Racer and Dix proper assessment. Here is an example of planning instruction using Racer and Dix models incorporating the specified components. Instructional procedural cell division in biology. Motivation starts the lesson by showing a video of cell division in action, highlighting the importance their processes in growth and repair. Presentation of objectives clearly states the objectives. By the end of the lesson, the student will be able to explain the stages of cell division and their significance, recalling requisites, skills, and knowledge. Review key concepts such as cell structure and the cell cycle to ensure students have the necessary background knowledge for understanding cell division. So prepare presentation of information and instruction. Introduce the stages of cell division: interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, using visual aids and diagram. Explain the role of states in the process of the cell division and how error can lead genetic abnormalities. So number 5 is practice and feedback. So divide students into groups to create a storyboard illustrating the states of cell division. So provide feedback on the accuracy and completeness of their storyboards to reinforce learning. So summary, recap the key points of the lesson, emphasizing the importance of cell division in growth, repair, and reproduction. So assessment, distribute a quiz to assess student understanding.
Blessed day everyone, I am Febijin F. Matambo, but you can also call me Febi for short. So my hobbies are cooking and playing billiards, and I have a special skill and it's welding. And now I'm happy to be with you all today as your reporter. Today, I will be discussing about teachers as curriculum leaders in evaluating instruction and teachers as curriculum leaders in K-12 education reform, and the last is teachers as curriculum leaders of the 21st century. Teachers as curriculum leaders in evaluating instruction. So why is it important? Studying teachers as curriculum leaders in evaluating instruction is crucial because it improves teaching quality, fosters professional growth, boosts student achievement, empowers teachers, encourages collaboration, and ensures curriculum relevance, promote accountability, and supports innovation. This involvement leads to more effective and responsive education. So, evaluating instruction is also important function of teachers as curriculum leaders. It is necessary for teachers to ensure that the curriculum is implemented as it planned. It ensures the curriculum standards and competencies are taught effectively to every learner. So, evaluating instruction also measures the effectiveness of how the curriculum is implemented. Also, in evaluating instruction, teachers need to look at the following procedures. First is planning for evaluation. Second is determine instructional evaluation design. Third is develop instructional evaluation instrument. Fourth is to collect data. Five is analyze data. Six is result findings or result of instructional evaluation. In planning for the education, it includes develop the purposes and objectives of the evaluation, determine the data, other information needed, and set the timeline for evaluation. For determining the instructional evaluation design, it includes types of information needed for evaluation, source of information, and methods for collecting the needed information. Also, we have methods for analyzing the data gathered, and last is the timeline for conducting evaluation. For developed instructional evaluation instruments also includes first is class observation guide, second is checklist, third is questionnaires, survey forms, and interview guide. And also, for collecting data, the teachers will collect all or gather necessary data needed for the instructional evaluation. So, we have to focus group discussion, interview with the students and teachers. We also have actual class observation and examining examples of student output, examining assessment tool used in the class, checking the facilities and other instructional materials, also checking of lesson plans, and interview with the principals and supervisors. Also, in analyzing data, the teachers will analyze the data gathered and interpret results. Lastly, is the report findings or the results of the instructional evaluation. Instructional evaluation could focus on the following aspects. First is the appropriateness of the activities and strategies to the students and to the topic. Also, we have active to the topic. Active participation of students in performing learning tasks. Also, usefulness of instructional materials in meeting the desired objectives of the lesson. We have also the conduciveness of classroom environment for learning and pedagogical content knowledge, or we say it PCK level of the teachers. We have also the important thing is the classroom management and development of positive relationship between students and teachers, and effective presentation of concepts and effectiveness of the teacher in carrying out the instructional procedures. And now we will discuss about teachers as curriculum leaders in instructional planning process. When we say teachers as curriculum leaders in instructional planning process, we have the instructional media and other instructional materials. So it is teachers need to select the instructional media that can be used effectively implemented the objects of the lesson. Also, we have implementing instruction, so it includes actual teaching and learning process. So we have revision of instruction. So the teacher will use the results of the students' assessment in revising instruction. And now we will proceed to the Teachers as curriculum leaders in the K-12 education reform. In the Republic Act 10533, otherwise known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of the Philippines, include specific provisions for teachers and principals to exercise leadership roles not only in instruction but also in curriculum. So, otherwise known as Government of Basic Education Act of 2002, also specifies important provisions wherein teachers play important roles to promote and present the rights of every citizen, quality basic education. Teachers need to view themselves as curriculum leaders performing the following functions: ensure effective implementation of curriculum standards and competencies. Also develop and evaluate curriculum materials that are appropriate for the students. Develop assessment and evaluation tools to assess learning and plan and evaluate curriculum. Plan activities that will help implement the curriculum and solicit support from parents and other stakeholders. Teachers also can make curricular decisions at the school level and conduct research to improve learning and improve content. So, since the K-12 curriculum is a standard-based curriculum reform, all teachers are compelled to focus their attention on the following. So, we have clarity of the standards. So, teachers should know the essential standard that every student should learn in the curriculum. These standards are contents, skills, and values or attitude that students need to learn and master. The second is visibility of performance measure. When we say visibility of performance measure, teachers need to ensure that each curriculum standard shows visible outcome or performance. Also, we have consistency of communication. So, teachers should effectively communicate the standards to all students. And we have all teachers need to share the vision of the K-12 education. They need to continuously improve their mastery of the subjects and disciplines that they teach. They also need to significantly improve their pedagogical skills. The K-12 program needs teachers who are creatively innovative. They need to develop new ways of responding to the needs of and interests of the learners. Also, they need to effectively devise reliable ways to assess and evaluate the learning of the students. So, we will talk about the teachers as curriculum leaders in a preschool. So, in Republic Act 10157, otherwise known as Kindergarten Education Act, integrates kindergarten tuition education in the formal education ecosystem in the country. So, before the school year 2011 to 2012, kindergarten education was not a prerequisite to the grade 1. It was core of a privilege for learners who parents can afford kindergarten education for them. It is desirable but not mandatory. The Kindergarten Education Act, age 5 to 6, enroll in the kindergarten. A diploma in kindergarten is now a prerequisite to enroll in the grade 1. So, considering cultural diversity in the country, implementation of mother tongue based multilingual education starting in kindergarten. So, now we have talked about teachers as curriculum leaders in elementary. So, why is it important to study? Teachers as curriculum leaders in elementary level are starting to mold the minds and character of the future leader and citizen of the world. So, teachers as curriculum leaders are researchers. They study carefully how children learn, discover new ways of teaching and learning, and also discover new relevant information related to the subject they teach. The teachers as curriculum leaders are empowered to design a new learning environment that celebrates diverse ideas and learning styles. They utilize technology effectively in teaching. Nowadays, Technology is the most important thing to catch the attention of the learners, and they make decisions on the curriculum content. And now, let's talk about the teachers as curriculum leaders in junior high school. In the junior high school, students are exposed to higher levels of learning. So, this is first encountered to study the disciplines as discipline and not subjects. They will be exposed to higher mathematics such as algebra, trigonometry, calculus, and geometry. They will be introduced to economics and deeper learning in Philippine history. Also, in junior high school, teachers teachers will assume leadership roles by sharing their disciplinary expertise to the students. They are not content experts and effective facilitator of teaching and learning process. So the academic track has four specializations. It is the humanities and social sciences, business, STEM, and general academic. These tracks aims to develop the following. First is the life and career skills, followed by the learning and innovation skills and information and media skills, communication skills, and the senior high school teachers will need to develop and implemented lessons that are learning centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate, relevant, responsive, and research based. Also, it has to be cultural sensitive, contextualized, and global, pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry based, reflective, collaborative, and integrative. In the senior high school, teachers are experts in their own field. They will teach courses that will prepare the students for the profession that they will choose and provide them necessary skills that they need to become entrepreneurs and productive in every life. Also, in senior high school, students are exposed to several specialized courses that will need to apply what they learned in junior high school to understand better the lessons and develop higher competencies. In the senior high school program, teachers play a crucial role in developing the professional skills and attitude of their students. Teachers, as curriculum leaders, will plan, design, develop, and implement curriculum appropriate for the students and aligned to the K-12 education program. They are expected to innovate and take the lead in ensuring that students will master the core standards and competencies prescribed by the Department of Education for the senior high school curriculum. So, teacher as curriculum leaders of 21st century learning, that 21st century is marked with various changes and challenges, broad forces like globalization, changing individual and social value system, also economic situation, political issues, cultural diversity factors, massive influx and information technology, environmental issue, and increasing amount of information made available to the public. So, the teachers will teach millennial learners who were born in an era where information technology is leading and shaping the renaissance of the society. So, according to Middlehood and Burton, 2001 noted that 21st century teaching and learning would need a completely new paradigm of learning. This new paradigm of learning focuses on developing critical thinking, creativity, communication skills, and collaboration. According to Law of Glover 2002, also identified new features of education focusing on learning how to learn, learning as a process, a journey, learning as a lifelong process, and teacher as a learner. There are several developments which have significantly influenced curriculum and development and teaching and learning in the 21st century. So, increasing discoveries on how the human works, idea of learning style and thinking preferences, and also include ICT integration in education, development of learning organization. As these and more are likely to occur, so will the role of the teachers as curriculum leaders continue to evolve. The role of the teachers as curriculum leaders continue to remain crucial in ensuring the success of the education and making the curriculum relevant and responsive to the needs of the learners and their society. So, one of the challenges of the 21st century learning to curriculum leaders is to develop habits of mind among the learners. Costa and Cali 2009 identified the following habits of mind. So, the first is teachers must be independent thinkers. They think before they act. Be more self-motivated, be more inquisitive, and pay attention to detail. Take pride in work. They also be more diligent and persistent, enjoy working through the work, and think for themselves, not always follow another's lead, and generate their own thoughts. Be self-directed, use strategies of problem solving, transfer knowledge and apply new situation, and have confidence, be able to take a risk and support answer as they can show evidence of their thinking, and communicate with each other and work it together. The teacher as curriculum leaders need to play an important role shaping the society and individuals. They need to develop curriculum that will instill human values and critical thinking to the learners. This means that the education, especially curriculum, needs to go back to learner-centeredness, putting emphasis on the development of learners to become leaders and citizens of a rapidly changing world. And that's all. Thank you for listening.
A pleasant day, everyone. I am Adeline S. Intayaw, and I will be discuss about exercising curriculum leadership and selecting textbook and other instructional materials. Why is it important to study exercising curriculum leadership in selecting textbook and other instructional materials? Exercising curriculum leadership in selecting textbook and instructional materials is crucial because it ensures alignment with educational goals, maintains high quality and relevance, promotes inclusivity, and supports effective teaching. Curriculum leaders choose materials that engage students, accommodate diverse learning styles, and are cost effective. They also ensure teachers receive necessary support for using new resources, ultimately enhancing students' learning and achieving educational objectives efficiently. In 2015, the Department of Education developed a framework for developing and selecting textbooks and other instructional materials. The framework prescribed that all textbook and instructional materials are first aligned to the K-12 curriculum. The textbook and other instructional materials should follow the curriculum standards and competencies prescribed by the K-12 curriculum. Dapat yung pinili na textbook or instructional materials ay align siya sa K-12 curriculum standards and competencies because the K-12 is the Filipino students' skills in mathematics, science, linguistics to further competencies in global job market. Second is contain expert system of knowledge. Authors that are experts in their fields should write the textbook and other instruction materials. It is also important that our content of the instruction materials are accurate and up to date. Yung authors na expert sa larangan at dapat gumawa sila ng textbook at dapat ang content nito ay tama at ito ay napapanahon dahil yung textbook at nag-update every year sa college. Third is have provision for differentiated instruction. It is important to provide activities and assessment strategies that are relevant to the learning styles and thinking preferences of the learner. The needs of slow learners and fast learners should also be considered. Dapat yung given activities and assessment strategies ay dapat relevant sa mga leaders sa kanyang learning styles and thinking preferences. Dahil mayroong mga estudyante na slow learners at kailangan mo itong palitan ang iyong teaching strategies para siya ay makaunawa ng mabuti. Fourth is provision for reflective thinking. The instruction materials and textbook should engage the learners to develop deeper understanding of the lessons, develop critical and creative thinking, and encourage reflective thinking. Fourth is provision for reflective thinking. The instructional materials and textbook should engage the learners to develop deeper understanding of the lessons, develop critical and creative thinking, and encourage reflective thinking. So, through this reflective thinking, it is described the qualities student analysis to clearer thinking process. Fifth is provision for parental and community involvement. The textbook and instructional materials should encourage parental and community involvement. This means that service learning, real-life integration, and parental support are encouraged. So, are in which parents are the first educators for their children, so they provide and affect child's learning and develop their support are needed for this stage. Also, the community involvement facilitate the factor of subsequent educational outcomes to the environment that being adapted. So, teachers as curriculum leaders make sure that all the necessary instructional materials they need to implement the curriculum are provided. They also ensure that these instructional materials are relevant and responsive to the needs of the learners. At all times, teachers are encouraged to develop their own instructional materials from objects and materials that are available in their locality. They are expected to be innovation and creative in developing relevant instructional materials for their classes. For our last topic, we will talk about developing teachers as curriculum leaders. Why is it important to study the development teachers as curriculum leaders? Studying the development of teachers as curriculum leaders is important because it improves teaching quality, boosts student outcome, foster professional growth, empower teachers, encourage collaboration, ensures curriculum relevance, promotes accountability, and supports innovation. This results in a more effective educational environment. There are few important factors that need to be considered in the development. For our last topic, we will talk about developing teachers as curriculum leaders. Why is it important to study the development teachers as curriculum leaders? Studying the development of teachers as curriculum leaders is important because it improves teaching quality, boosts student outcome, fosters professional growth, empower teachers, encourage collaboration, ensure curriculum relevance, promotes accountability, and supports innovation. This results in a more effective education environment. There are few important factors that need to be considered in the development of teachers as curriculum leaders. First is teacher empowerment. There are few important factors that need to be considered in the development of teachers as curriculum leaders. First is teachers empowerment. Teachers need to be empowered to make important decisions, solve problems, take action, and innovate in their own school and classes. Second is efficient system. Teachers need to work in an efficient working environment. They need to be part of a system that is collaborative, professional, and effective. Third is mentoring system. Teachers, especially the neophyte teachers, need to mentoring from effective and model mentors. Fourth is administrative support. At any level, teachers will need full support from the administration, especially when they want to innovate or develop good programs for the school and for their students. And the last is learning community. Teachers must experience to work in a learning community where all behave as professional, avoiding any forms of professional jealousies and free from insecurities. Teachers need to learn from and share the best curricular and instructional practices to each other. Finally, continuing professional development is needed to ensure the development of teachers to perform leadership roles in the total curriculum processes. Like any leaders, they need support from various individuals and groups, especially in their schools. So that's all our report for today. Thank you for listening.